Всем привет! Сегодня буду продолжать проходить основную сюжетку Genshin. Так что приступим. Ну, загрузка, как всегда, загрузка. Так.
Nahida, we're here! Traveler, Paimon, how have you... Ugh, where to start? Paimon hasn't had a moment's rest this whole time. That night, we ended up chatting and chatting until suddenly the sun was up. And then he decided he wanted to go to Inazuma. The balladeer? You look troubled. Is there something you need to tell me? Traveler? Hey, what's wrong? You look so upset. That's quite a story. So, this puppet known as the balladeer, But how is he even... As the traveler said, he very nearly became Sumeru's deity. Admittedly, I remember it a little differently. Nevertheless, it does make sense. If someone were to successfully erase themselves from... So, you believe this person really existed? And we just don't remember him because... Well... Yes. Theoretically speaking, it is possible to... The traveler comes from a world beyond to that. That's why there's no information about him in Irminsul. And it also... So if there's anyone in the world capable of retaining memories from a past that has been rewritten, it's you. Paimon's having a hard time understanding this balladeer guy's motivations. I can only make inferences based on the information we've been given. As for what kind of person he was... Something else worrying you? Something that you can't share? It couldn't change the fate of the ones who had died. Once the balladeer realized he hadn't been betrayed after all, it must have completely changed his view of the people of Tatar. He couldn't keep hating humans after that. And if he thought there was a chance, the story makes sense. Every part of it. The balladeer tried to achieve godhood with the doctor's help. He was unsuccessful, but retained that power then enabled him to change what was recorded in Irminsul and erase... Yeah, it does make sense, but it still ended in tragedy for... It just feels so hopeless. He gave everything to do this, but it... Please wait a moment. I wanted... Found it. This should be the one. It turns out that I have a strange way of confirming everything he has told us. What is it? A record from a personal collection. It was tucked away in a corner. You should take a look. Is this a fairy tale? I authored this record myself. Huh? You wrote a fairy... When combined with the traveler's narrative, it's clear that this story is an allegory. Everything in it... Hold on. So this record survived from the... Yes. Any information about the balladeer or the Kabukimono and other records will have been changed. Changing the information in Irminsul changes to... But Irminsul can't change information that was well hidden in advance. I guess I must have written this story as a backup before... That's incredible! What a great idea! And sending the traveler into Irminsul with the balladeer must have been a further precaution. I knew he'd remember everything. This story is abstract enough that it still resonates with the present information recorded in... But if we connect all the different pieces together, the true story that emerges is the one he told... There was once a lone monster draped in fox fur. The monster found a family of foxes, joined them, and they became friends. The monster lived with the family. Once in a while, the monster would take off its fox fur at night and lament to itself as it gazed at its reflection in the water. I am a monstrosity. But the monster soon found solace when another came to live among the foxes who was not their kin. A kitten, carved from the wood of a white tree. The kitten too wished to become a fox, but its tail was too slender and it could not grow a coat of richly colored fur. Yet when the other foxes saw this, they spoke words. Furious at this happy resolution, the monster lit a fire on the mountain. The terrified animals panicked as the fire spread. A gray fox stood up and addressed the monster. It said, "You are the cleverest among us. Surely you can help us find a way to solve this." The monster smiled, led the fox toward the fire, and murdered it. The gray fox's heart was turned into a beautiful drop of water, clear, spotless, and pure. The monster gave the heart of water to the kitten, telling him, "The foxes have decided. You are the one who must be sacrificed. Take this, quench the flames." The fire was extinguished, but the kitten lived. It left that side of the mountain and found a little bird. The two promised they would spend their whole lives together, but the little bird did not have long left to live. It passed away soon after. Never again would it cherish a single creature, nor a single blade of grass that stood on that mountain. The kitten spent the nights wandering aimlessly, how it wished to swallow the moon and devour the moonlight. If the world could only return to dark... I will become the new moon, the answer to everything. Then, no one will know that there were once birds, foxes, and cats in the... We solved it! I remember now. This is not just the balladeer story. It is his to become a god. He was experimented on and modified countless times. It was brutal torture, and this memory was extracted from him by the scholars. Presumably, they kept it to... Creating a deity was just the first step. Some of them wanted to be able to control it. That's why they backed up his memory. I buried it deep inside one of my own dreams, and then hid it inside an allegorical story so that it... It's hard to believe that this person really existed. let alone that he tried to get rid of us some more than... Paimon has no memory of him at all. He completely vanished like a puff of... The balladeer agreed to help me look for information about the Descenders. And although he was unsuccessful, before he vanished, he confirmed an important detail. That Conria was warrior twin for... We still don't know how the change to Irminsul will affect the senior ranks of the Fatui. But in all likelihood, they won't even remember their own Harbinger. It sounds like Paimon wouldn't like this guy a whole lot if he was still around. But still, Paimon doesn't like the... This is why wisdom alone cannot answer all our questions. We look, we see, and we comprehend. But the question still troubles, so the answer is not everything. People yearn to find the truth, and that when you give someone the truth, you give them a chance. To others looking on, this may seem like a pointless endeavor, but for him, the chance to act. Never forget that even when we walk beneath dark clouds along a road filled with suffering, the light of wisdom is... And that is what you have been doing all along. Yeah, Nahita's right. Cheer up! How about we go get something to eat? Good idea. Paimon, why don't you take him out for a walk to clear his head? You got it! Come on, Traveler! You need to get out of your head for a while. You'll feel much better after taking a... Let's go get a snack from one of the stalls in the Grand Bazaar! That'll be sure to lift our spirits! It must be really tough being the only one who remembers all that. But Paimon's always here to help.
Большой базарить не могу, ты должен телепортнуться сюда. Да, могу. Не буду откуда отсюда пихусь.
What should we eat first? Hey, are you gonna answer or what? Alright, whatever you want. Well, Paimon will be right here when you figured stuff out. Then we... What is it? Have you figured it all out? Why'd you jump up all of a sudden?
Excuse me, boss. There seems to be a small problem with the last bill. Look, here.
Hey! Hey, wait!
Hmm? You mean me?
No, not you. That kid! Didn't you see? Little rascal grabbed my last two fresh suns. Look, if you're gonna help out here, you can't keep spacing out, okay? What is it?
I wasn't paying close enough attention. Sorry, I think you're right. Maybe it's the city. It's so exciting.
Who's that guy? You know him or something? He's who?
You're a strange one, kiddo. You say you don't want any money for helping out here, and then when I actually give you some work to do, I don't want to take advantage, so I'm happy to pay you what I'd pay anyone else. But if you keep acting like this, pretty soon...
No, please. I mean it. You don't need to pay me anything. I'm just so thankful you agreed to take on...
You're welcome, I guess. But I got bigger things to worry about. Look, we're all out of Sunsetias,
Leave it to me. I'll find some more. Just a moment.
Stop. I'm gonna level with you, kiddo. I've never met a worker who said they didn't want a wage before. And at first, you don't want money. You don't take days off. And in your free time, all I see you do is wander around.
That's right, I am. We can talk more about that later. First, let me get those fruits you needed.
Hey, what do we do now? Okay, stay out of sight. Don't let him see you.
Так, я отлучился надолго. Так, ну-ка. Ну. Можно и так. Вообще беспалевно.
Yeah, this'll do.
Even though you say he's the balladeer, what are we planning on doing? Stealing his Sunsetias? Isn't it? Oh, all right.
This should be enough. Guess I should wash them before I take them back. Huh? You two over there. Is there something I can help you with?
He spotted us.
You've been following me all the way from the city. I'd have to be blind not to notice. Have we met before? No, we haven't met. But you know me? I have no recollection.
Are you absolute?
Sorry, but I just can't take your word for it.
A puppet? What makes you think?
Huh?
You were right. The look on his face.
I guess you do know me after all. That is not something I share with a lot of people. Look, I'm just a wanderer. But seeing as you've gone through all this trouble to track me down, I'm sure whatever... Okay, but please let me deliver these goods to my boss first.
Are you really working for that guy? He said you don't want any more for it.
Yes, I ran into him out in the wilderness during a storm. And he let me take shelter in his cart. In return...
That's oddly nice of you.
Let me take these back. Then I'll come with you, okay?
Then let's return to the city.
Так, блин, тут теперь... Туда-сюда, туда-сюда, туда-сюда.
Here you go, boss. I'll leave them right here.
Oh, you really went and picked some more. Who are these two?
Something's come up, and they need to borrow me. Sorry, boss.
I was just about to pay you anyway. Go wherever you want, kid. Don't waste your time here.
What?
I get it, okay? You just wanted to help me out, to thank me for giving you shelter from the rain that day. But look, it was pouring down, and there you were, sauntering along without a care in the world. Like you had nowhere to be and didn't even care that it was raining. Imagine you were me for a second. It's a little weird, right? Why is this guy traveling during a rainstorm if he's not trying to get somewhere? And why is he taking a shortcut through the open But anyway, taking you in didn't put me out even slightly. You don't owe me a thing for it. Certainly not all this. Your time is valuable.
But I don't... No. Then I suppose this is where we say goodbye.
Don't mention it, kiddo. I've run into all kinds of characters over the years.
Thank you. All right, done. Thanks for waiting for me.
Шок нахили. Нахили. Да, блядь, из загрузки. Тут туда-сюда, колебаю загрузки.
What's wrong? Huh? Are you?
Hello. I do apologize for the...
We found this guy in the street, but he doesn't seem to remember anything. So, yeah.
You say that you're trekking across Teyvat to train yourself. Many other Inazumans who describe themselves in this way.
Well, it seems more relevant in my case. To me, it sounds like a plant with no roots. But these two claim that they know me, and that I have a hidden past unknown even to myself.
I wouldn't call it the past, but rather, I don't like to rely on using terms like this often, but in your case,
Oh, like a past life or something?
yes, something far more distant than the past.
Okay, I have to ask. What? Oh, okay. You want to tell me, but you can't bring yourselves to say it. Looks like I didn't have the most wonderful existence in my previous incarnation. If it's that difficult to talk about, I have no doubt it will be just, but I'll be able to handle it. Please.
Is truth something you care a lot about?
Yes.
Then I'll be straight with you. In your previous incarnation, you did many things that would be considered You nearly died because of what other people did. And many died because of you. As a non-human being, you hated gods and you drifted from place to place, never able to settle, even where you found status and identity. You Actions rooted in persistence sometimes bear bitter fruit.
I gave everything I had, but it barely changed history at all.
In terms of the outcome alone.
I don't think I can judge everything I've heard purely in terms of right and wrong. Each choice a person makes belongs to a specific place and time, a chain of cause and effect, a cycle of...
That is the nature of truth. If one thing is right, its opposite must be wrong. And yet, dichotomies like this are not
It seems like my previous incarnation wasn't the most likable individual.
We're not trying to hurt your feelings or anything, but yeah, we weren't your big...
If we were enemies, why are you trying to help me find the truth?
This is so frustrating! This guy's supposed to be our arch enemy, but now he's just some random... He's got so much to answer for, but we can't make him talk because he doesn't remember anything.
Lesser Lord Kusanali, as the god of wisdom, I trust that everything you told...
Yes, it's all true. I can even show you the memories themselves, if...
Please, I want to see them for myself. I want to experience my own transgressions.
Even though it will cause your present self great mental anguish?
I'm just a puppet, with no heart and no name. There is...
Very well.
Wait, shouldn't we go with him? This one's kind of on us for bringing him here.
Don't worry. Whatever danger I might face...
Traveler, could I ask you to supervise him on my behalf?
Oh, good point. Given your, unique situation, we...
Understood.
Thank you.
А, то есть так.
Inazuma.
Right now, you're in a dream I created using information extracted from your memories. These memories will show you the raw truth. But be aware that enemies may react just like in the real world.
Sounds like an immersive experience. It's a good thing we came along.
You don't need to do this for me. I don't deserve your protection.
We never give up halfway. Well, we had to once, but that was your doing.
All right.
Wanderer, this is the Shake Pavilion. In your Balladeer incarnation, this is where the Electro Archon placed you after your creation.
Is that because this is kind of like his...
You could say that, in a sense.
I hear footsteps.
This place is huge. I can't believe the landslide didn't fill it in. I wonder who built it. The Crystal Marrow Miners? No, there's no way. Look at this exquisite construction work, and so well preserved. There's someone passed out on the ground.
Who are you?
You're awake. What happened? Not a scratch. And these fine clothes.
This man is Katsuragi, deputy to Torichiyo's adopted son, Mikoshi Nagamasa. He found the ballad,
And the rest is history. Well,
in the original version of events, Katsuragi was ultimately...
Let me get you out of here. Our people are nearby.
During the Tatarasuna incident, Niwa was murdered by the doctor, disguised as a mechanic. The balladeer, then known as the Kabukimono, as the second in command at Tatarasuna, responsibility for what had happened fell to Miko. But Katsuragi had sworn lifelong loyalty to Nagamasa after the latter had once saved his life. At Katsuragi's insistence...
Katsuragi seems like he was a good guy.
He looks like a warrior, but he has a kind face. Why couldn't he live a long and happy life?
Ой, не то.
Bro.
Люк.
Nagamasa, I found this young guy in a cave sealed off by a landslide. He doesn't remember his name.
Well, we need to call you something. I hear the workers are calling you the Kabukimono.
That's fine with me.
Katsuragi, report to Niwa. Tell him we have someone new join us.
И зачем?
Commit to memory.
Зачем это лезть ступить? Типа за сундуком, что ли? Блять, блин.
Huh? What are we doing back here? Whoa, this is where you were born? It's pretty.
I was abandoned, like you. I lived here for a while at first, but
Okay. I heard my mom and dad used to make swords, but the factory manager died. And he kept coughing all the time, just like me. Then Mom...
But you can't. You promised me.
А вот для чего он мертв?
Yup, we're family now. We're gonna be together forever and ever.
This child didn't have a name. Or rather, the balladeer didn't know what to call him. His father died before he could name him. After his mother died, the child stayed in their straw hut alone. After leaving Tatarasuna, the balladeer ran into this child who didn't have a name, just like him.
What happened to the child then?
He died from his illness while he was still very young. The balladeer came home one day and found that he had stopped breathing.
Hey! What's wrong? Say something! You promised me we could be family! You're no different from... The voices have gone. It looks like...
Let's keep going.
Видел какой, да? Бой. Бой. Ого, бой.
You do realize you're blocking my path.
I come not to obstruct you. I've been waiting. What you are truly is a weapon. One that could be wielded with an iron will. Or you could continue to drift aimlessly.
Are you trying to win me over?
Right now.
Long-awaited rebellion has begun. Why not take your place at the banquet and join those who shall feast?
This is it.
Hey!
Well met.
Right here.
Put your back into it. You can't run.
Go, go, go!
My work. Finished. Looks like I went too far.
Люк есть, естественно, О, я вспомнил эту
This
фигню.
place is dark.
Paimon knows this place.
In the original version of events, the traveler once encountered the
Such a creepy atmosphere. Hey, look over there.
Well, well, my fair lady. Is this rundown factory and these incompetent fools all for me? Wow. You shouldn't have.
What do you have to gain from belittling your subordinates? You might not want to admit it, but you are a part of this plan. Perhaps you find fighting in the abyss to be a more meaningful use of your time? Oh.
What a sharp tongue you have. Funny how negotiating never seems to be your strong suit. For the task ahead, I suggest you keep your...
Save your breath. I know what I have to...
I'm sure you think so, but I still think you need to hear it. Don't start thinking you're invincible. And don't let your
Surely you're not worried about me.
I just can't have you getting in my way. You and Child never fail to find ways to complicate.
I'm merely lighting a little fire in this chaotic nation. But you, being tossed out like trash must make you want... Do you remember the last time you were here? That was a lot of swordsmiths you killed. I'm sure the descendants of the Raiden Gokaden are still suffering the consequences. Look at you. Oh, don't get so sentimental. Now, give that poor little... Bye then. See you at the victory feast.
Poor little tongue? She's playing with fire top. Forget it. Someone might find me here any minute now.
The plot does not end here. There is more of this story to come.
Yes.
Why are you staring at me in silence? Can't you think of a nicer way to express yourself?
I'm under no obligation to be nice to you. Besides, I thought nothing mattered to you except results and your own interests. Isn't that right? Witch?
Muddle-headed puppet. You're only number 6 because you can take more abuse than other humans. Do you really count that as an asset?
You're about as much fun to be around as a raging inferno. But before we murder each other, it'd be best if we finish our duties.
Can't run.
Женщина, не обалдела. Что это тот момент был, да? Ну-кась. Нет, не тот.
Looks like we've arrived in Sumeru. Is that?
Considering that Amorta's sage, Nafis, refused to join this project, I'll take part in the experiment in his place.
Welcome. I look forward to a fruitful collab.
When do we start?
You seem impatient. You should know that becoming a god is far from...
The biological transformation is a lengthy process. As such, I too would recommend that we commence as soon as possible, in the event that a successful connection is...
Nothing worse than what I've been through before then, Doctor.
You were the most resilient test subject I ever came across. Thanks to you, I was able to garner a great deal of information. Alas, after that, you were under orders to remain in the abyss. We barely saw each other.
That was gracefully worded. Ever wonder what they think if they knew that nothing matters to you, apart from your crazy...
I suggest you speak to me in a more respectful tone, Scaramouche. The mere fact...
The doctor again?
That person gives off a very sinister energy.
It's normal for him to give you the creeps. He scares the bejeebers out of Pine.
Let's move on.
Я же могу здесь есть. Еда-то есть вообще? Еда есть. Могу? Могу.
You're a god. Do you think I'm evil?
If you accept that he is you, just as you are you, then yes.
In your eyes, are there any differences
Do you think there are any differences between your present self and your previous and future incarnations? Whoever has tasted the joys and sorrows of life in the human realm is human. Whoever has loved and lost, cried with grief, howled with...
I've seen enough of my past. If possible, I'd like to reclaim the sins that are mine to bear. No matter the consequences, I won't run from blame or punishment. Whatever I am due, can you return my memories to me?
Huh? But won't that mean you'll lose your current identity?
I've always believed that human lives follow a set of rules, with each person being a collection of past experiences. As a puppet living in a human world, my life is subject to the same rules.
Regaining your memories means reverting completely to your previous incarnation. Are you sure you want to do this?
I've lived with the void in my chest my whole life. My creator didn't need me. And ever since I awoke, I've just drifted from one... But then I met you. And I finally realized that reclaiming my missing sin... I've always felt I have an innate tendency to yearn for something more, in a way that goes deeper than for most people. But for all my soul-searching, so I beg you, grant me this opportunity to gain a purpose, to change my death.
Very well. Since your mind is made up, I will return to you that which is... You have made your decision. Now, take this.
Set him free.
A puppet? What's he doing here? You're a human as far as I'm concerned.
Everyone's here. Wonderful.
What a fine blade. Nagamasa will be thrilled.
This is my...
Is he alright? No way!
All worthless dross will be purged. That's why this won't be the end.
Ебать. Серьезно?
This is trying my patience. Got any more stupid questions? Insignificant past!
Подожди.
Swallow Fury. Churn! At my command, you shall fall! That's far enough!
Чего?
Insignificant past! Moon rises. My endless cycle begins! Feeble human! Wretched vermin! The wind rises.
Easy.
Imbecile! Get out of my sight.
It disappeared.
What did you expect? I'd never lose to that.
There's the tone of voice again. You're definitely back late. But it was you inside that thing too. What have you got to be smug about?
Sorry. I'm harsh on myself and everyone else. Just the way I am. You sound like you're concerned about me. But don't worry. Thanks to you, even if I didn't change a thing...
The memory recovery seems to have been a success. This dream...
Come on. Let's continue this outside.
Я вот что? Что? Я он Так, загрузка долго будет или? Нет, недолго. Черный экран, как
Welcome
всегда.
back, traveler, Paimon, Balladeer.
It feels like we just went on a really long journey.
You don't like being addressed by that name?
It's fine. But I was just thinking, I should probably change it. After learning about everything the doctor did, there's no way I can carry on using a name connected to him. I'm not planning on returning to the Fatui, and they wouldn't take me back anyway. Recent events will have affected a lot of people, and they might not even remember who the sixth is.
So, you're quitting the Fatui for good?
It's like you said, Lesser Lord Kusanali. Everything may look futile, but it wasn't completely meaningless.
But that doesn't mean your own past has disappeared.
Of course.
And your main goal, for which you gave up everything you had, you weren't able to achieve it. I hope you can see and understand that. Changing the world, changing the past, changing the fates of other people, what you were looking for is complete annihilation. But this is just a fantasy. Even if the Balladeer is removed from existence, the world will not heed your will.
Indeed.
Do you regret doing all that when you've gotten so little in return?
Even if I'm completely worthless, there's nothing in the world worth. Lesser Lord Kusanali, you purposely left that information in Irminsul, didn't?
Yes, and I took pains to make sure that you'd acquire that information.
Why would you go to such lengths? You trying to win me over too?
In all honesty, your past experiences have made you a useful asset to Sumeru and to me. Winning you over wasn't... But before that, I wanted to tell you the truth about your past. If all I wanted...
Very clever.
I guess you could say that's one of my virtues.
Utility to others is what gives me worth. So if embracing my sins is what it takes to make me useful again, so be it. Oh right, I almost forgot. You're the good guy. Sorry if I have a slightly different perspective on things, but I don't feel like I've been duped. The wisest leaders are fated to end.
I'm glad you're able to think of it in that way. Traveler, in the future, I'll continue to search Irminsul more deeply, including the beginning of your twins' journey recorded in Irminsul. What exactly happened before and after that, I will try.
Traveler. After I dove into the information torrents in Irminsul, why did you go to Inazuma? So that's how you found out whose fate had changed. And how? Well, whatever your reasons, you did me a favor. And I'll do everything I can to pay it back. Borrowing and returning are the only real relationships between individuals. I'll balance the books one day. Don't you?
That's not true. A relationship between two people is not simply a ledger that... I think deep down you realize this. People who show up in your life don't just evaporate like water drops and leave nothing behind. Some things in this world can never be brought back, and they can never be changed. Everything that you feel is real and lasting, and to be human is to live with imperfections. You can choose whether or not you want to be human.
But humans can't live without a heart, can they? Anyway.
You understand what pain is perfectly well, even without a heart. The past is set in stone, but you can keep moving on. And the longer your future lasts, the shorter your past will become, until one day...
Sounds like you've got a future planned out for me.
Everything's ended up being pretty darn complicated. Paimon doesn't even know where to start, but...
Then I guess I'll be helping you from behind the scenes from now on.
I'm glad that you've accepted our proposal. Why don't you choose a new name to celebrate?
Ooh! Paimon wants to pick an ugly nickname for you, too!
Why?
Because Because Paimon still doesn't like...
Then I hope we don't see much of each other.
A name is life's first gift. You didn't say it out loud, but I know that's what you're thinking. The Traveler and Paimon have helped you a lot. If you can't decide on a new name, maybe you can ask them for ideas.
Бля.
No, Paimon only does nicknames. If it's a serious name, you're...
В смысле, серьезно?
Have you got anything?
Так типа их можно или нет сейчас? Блять. Я хочу старого, блять. Здесь нет. Блять, с большой же буквы. Скоро. Не, блять. Не могу. Скоро. Блять, все хочу, что это чего? Блять. Я подумал пока что, так что на паузу оставлю. Ой, не знаю, как придумать. Я, наверное, вот так вот придумал. Ну, не знаю, пойдет ему или нет. Потому что я хочу полностью его назвать. Примерно так. Или даже хотел раздельно сделать, типа. В Китае и в Японии же раздельные имена, по-моему, у некоторых. Типа хотел раздельно, а тут даже хз. Я думал, так пойдет. Здесь пойдет.
Are you sure?
Ну ты не знаю.
Oh, all right. If you say so.
There. Now you have a name of your own.
What about a nickname? Are you done yet?
Блять, тебе и шип.
Take your time. I don't need to see you again until you've thought of one. Everyone who manipulated me and made me suffer will have to pay the price.
You mean the Fatui?
The doctor, at least.
Now that your stance has changed, I believe your future path will change accordingly. But it won't be...
One more thing. There are still some descendants of the Raiden Gokuden living in Inazuma. Some of them know. Well, they ought to know. I don't plan to leave Sumeru for the time being. If you see them in Inazuma, please tell them that I was the one responsible for the Raiden. Even though the events have been erased from the world, they still deserve to know the truth.
I see.
Huh? But if we do that, then...
It's fine. Let them stab their blades into my chest if they so desire. Maybe that's how it always should have... No nonsense. I like it. All right, let's call it a day. Goodbye, wise deity. And you too.
He's gone.
What he went through today would have been like living an entire lifetime in an instant. He'll need...
Yeah, true. But even so, after everything that's happened, he doesn't seem quite as fierce anymore. So we can finally go eat? Paimon is starving.
Thank you both. I hope you will find somewhere nice to...
Давай грузись.
I've got it! I can end my novel with some words from Mikoshi Nagamasa.
You mean because everyone else in the story is dead?
Yeah, I heard that Mikoshi Nagamasa died at a ripe old age. He's the perfect fit. The dark clouds had dissipated, but they continued to cast their shadow. Then, one night, as an old man, he had a dream. On the night when that prized blade, the Daitatara Nagamasa, all these expressions of joy melted down in the furnace fire and turned into red clouds that rallied around the fight. Life is a story too long to be told. A journey that you must walk to behold.
It's about time we had a break. As soon as you stop, all the tiredness and hunger comes rushing back. Wow, great! Huh? Look at the vase. Did someone break it while they were cleaning the room or something? But Paimon doesn't remember there being a...
You sound lost and confused. I know why you are troubled. Any who knew of this would find their mind over.
Huh? Is there someone here talking to us?
Unfortunately, the fate of Tevat cannot easily be changed. Perhaps a god, when a small animal runs into a tree trunk, though the tree may sway, it is not displaced. This, like a vase that falls to the ground. Whether it is broken by a cat or by a bird, the result is still a...
Who are you? How do you...
History does not change easily, but human hearts can. Believe your own eyes.
The voices disappeared. And who the heck was that? And what were they doing coming up? Anyway, that face is still lying there broken on the ground. It feels wrong just leaving it there. Just a moment, Paimon.
Пацанов все-таки мы прошли, так что увидимся, ну я хз тогда. Ивент я прошел, сюжетку прошел. Скорее всего увидимся в кое-какой игре. Я ее недавно покупал, так что скорее всего я ее буду записывать тоже. Так что увидимся в кое-какой игре. Пока-пока.